If money wasn't a factor, what would you be doing right now? Most people don't wake up one morning wanting to abandon everything. They wake up after years of ignoring parts of themselves that have been trying to get their attention. The crisis is often not in the beginning, it is the consequence. Have you ever heard someone say, "I don't know what happened. He just woke up one day and quit his job." Or, "She suddenly left her marriage." Or, "He had everything going for him. Nobody saw it coming." But what if it wasn't sudden at all? What if the breakdown started years before anyone even noticed? Welcome to Behind the Smile, the place where we explore what people are carrying behind the smiles we see every day. My name is Dr. Michelle Nicole, and I'm your public mental health doctor. And today, we are talking about something many people fear, but few understand: the midlife crisis. But before you switch off and think, that doesn't apply to me, no, stay with me. Because this episode, it's not really about age. It's about what happens when the gap between the life you are living and the life you are longing for becomes too large to ignore. And most importantly, it's about why breakdowns rarely happen overnight. They build quietly, one day at a time, one compromise at a time, one unanswered question at a time. Let me tell you about James. James is 47 years old. He's successful. He has a respected career, a family, a home, and a routine. People describe him as dependable, stable, responsible, the kind of person who has his life together. Every morning, he wakes up at the same time, drives the same route, attends the same meetings, return home to the same responsibilities. Nothing appears wrong. Then one day, something strange happens. A young colleague asks him, "If money wasn't a factor, what would you be doing right now?" James laughed. But later that evening, he cannot stop thinking about that question. He realizes he doesn't know the answer. Not because he never had dreams, but because he stopped asking himself those questions years ago. Over the next few months, he becomes restless. He feels irritated more often, less excited about work, less present at home. He begins comparing his life to others. He starts wondering, is this it? Have I missed my chance? Am I becoming someone I never intended to become? Then one day, he announces he wants to quit his job. Everyone was shocked. His colleagues calls it a midlife crisis. His family says it came out of nowhere, but James knows something they don't. This didn't start today. This started years ago. The announcement was sudden, but the build-up was not. One of the biggest myths about emotional breakdowns is that they happen suddenly. We imagine people moving from okay to crisis overnight. But that is rarely how human beings work. Most emotional struggles develop quietly. The signs are often small, a little less of joy, a little more of exhaustion, a little less of connection, and a little more of questioning. Over time, these small changes accumulate, like water slowly rising behind a dam. From the outside, everything appears normal. The smile remains, the job remains, the responsibility too remain. But underneath, something is shifting. Many people believe a midlife crisis means someone is ungrateful, selfish, or having an emotional overreaction. What if it is neither? What if it's actually a signal? A signal that important needs have gone unattended for too long. Needs for meaning, growth, purpose, authenticity, and connection. Most people don't wake up one morning wanting to abandon everything. They wake up after years of ignoring parts of themselves that have been trying to get their attention. The crisis is often not in the beginning. It is the consequence. So, what is actually happening beneath the surface? Three things often occur. First, people become trapped inside identities they have outgrown. The role that once fit no longer fits. The career, the routine, the expectations, the version of themselves they created years ago. Second, people start believing they must keep performing wellness even when they feel disconnected. They smile, they function, they achieve, but they stop checking in with themselves. Over time, they become strangers to their own needs. Third, the world rewards visible success, but rarely asks about inner alignment. People congratulate achievements. Very few ask, are you fulfilled? Are you growing? Are you becoming the person you want to become? This is why so many struggles remain hidden. Not because people are dishonest, but because the warning signs rarely look dramatic. They look ordinary, like a little less excitement and a little more numbness, or a little less curiosity and a little more autopilot. And when nobody pays attention, the build-ups continues. This is where responsibility enters the conversation. Not blame, responsibility. If breakdowns build silently, then prevention cannot begin at crisis point. It must begin much earlier. It begins when we stop asking only, are you okay? And start asking, what has been weighing on you lately? Or what part of your life feels most alive right now? Or what part feels neglected? It begins when we regularly check in with ourselves. Not only when things fall apart. It begins when families, workplaces, communities, and friends learn to notice the quiet signs instead of waiting for dramatic ones. Because most people do not collapse without warning. The warnings are usually there. They are simply hidden beneath routine, responsibility, achievement, productivity, and smiles. So, the next time you hear someone says, it happened suddenly, pause for a moment and ask yourself, did it really happen suddenly? Or was there a story building beneath the surface that nobody knew how to see? Thank you for joining me on the Behind the Smile. Don't forget to like, share, so that it can reach someone who might need this. And subscribe so that you don't miss out on the next episode. Remember, the smile tells us how someone appears, but the story tells us what they are carrying. And stories we pay attention today may prevent tomorrow's crisis. Have a good one. Bye.